right, they don't know exactly where this errant rocket will land. They just know that it will happen this weekend. And chances are, with the Earth 70% water, most statisticians say that means it would land somewhere on water and you don't have to worry about it on land. But here's the problem with that theory. It's so big, all bets are off, and its trajectory coming into the atmosphere could be so wild that guessing where it ends up, well, is anyone's guess. But to show you how big a deal this is roughly 100 feet long. This rocket is 100 feet long. Typical 18-wheeler, about 70 to 80 feet long. And it's a lot heavier than that. I mean, maybe up to 10 times heavier than that. And it's coming into the Earth here. Now, this is going to happen this weekend. We're told that it could happen anytime between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. tomorrow. No, they're not saying that, but that's just when my Saturday show is on, so I thought I'd scare you into watching it, which is very tacky, and I apologize for that. But I do want to bring Michio Kaku in here, the theoretical physics professor, author of The God Equation. And I think, Michio, I would agree that maybe only God knows exactly where this thing will land. Are you worried it's going to land on a populated area?
Well, you know, this is the second rocket launched by the Chinese that is wildly swinging uncontrollably. Last year, it landed in the Atlantic Ocean and parts of Africa. So who knows where it's going to land? But just remember that it's traveling at 18,000 miles per hour. That's 25 times the speed of sound. And it can whip around the Earth within just 90 minutes. So we in New York City are actually in the crosshairs of this satellite. Anywhere from as far north as New York City, as far south as New Zealand, these cities are in the crosshairs of this device, which is tumbling out of control.
You know what I didn't understand? The Chinese reaction has been, what? We don't see any problem here. There are no apologies for it or concerns about it. And furthermore, they have 2 more planned launches using this same technology where this could happen again and again. I'm wondering, what are they doing to help the world figure this out, or do they care?
You know, for the past 30 years, the United States and Russia have deliberately planned deorbiting their booster rockets so that they don't land on someone's backyard. Now, the Chinese are different. They're trying to play catch up. They know that they're decades behind the United States and Russia, and so they're cutting corners. They're getting careless. They want to launch as many things into outer space as they can, and where they land, well, that's a secondary priority for them, I think. And so that's the fundamental problem. And realize that 30 years ago, the United States and Russia used to do this. Remember Skylab? Right. Skylab was a 76-ton device that fell in 1979 in Australia. That's where it landed. And I still remember that bookies in Las Vegas were taking bets. They were taking bets as to where Skylab would crash. And so remember, this was something that the great powers did 30 years ago, but not since. This is the largest such craft to come down in 30 years.
It is scary, but I know the odds are going over land, and furthermore over land in the case of Skylab. It was apparently no one was affected or hurt in that one. But the sheer size of this makes me think about the meteor that hit Russia. Would it be akin to something like that, or is that a night and day comparison?
Well, you know, the Chinese are trying to downplay this by saying that it's going to disintegrate in the atmosphere, but that's not the experience. The actual experience is that between 20 to 40% of the object will survive re-entry and make landfall somewhere on the planet Earth. And because most of the Earth's surface is water, chances are it'll land in water. And so far, no one has ever died from a direct impact from celestial debris from outer space. But it can't be ruled out. And remember, New York City, we are in the crosshairs of this gigantic, monstrous rocket that is tumbling out of control.
Incredible. You know, the dinosaurs might beg to differ with you, Michio, about don't make a big deal of something that's coming your way. In fact, I booked one tomorrow to talk to. No, I haven't, but we'll see what happens on all of that. So it's sometime this weekend. That's all we know. Mitchell, always good seeing you, my friend. We'll keep an eye on this thing and get the latest. As you heard from the defense secretary, no plans to try to shoot this thing down, but you must be thinking behind the scenes, they're thinking of the unthinkable just in case they have to start thinking of that.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.